Imagine lounging by your own pool on a scorching summer day. Towel draped over your eyes. When suddenly a shrill voice pierces the air, you're trespassing on private property. I'm calling the cops right now. You thug. And just like that, your peaceful afternoon turns into a battlefield with a self-appointed HOA dictator who thinks she owns everything, including your sanity. Meet Alex Harper, a quiet software developer in his early 40s who'd just cashed in on a big app sale. After years of scraping by in dingy rentals with landlords who treated tenants like pests, Alex decided to flip the script. He bought Maple Grove Apartments, a rundown 60-unit complex in suburban Virginia, complete with a faded Olympic-sized pool that screamed potential. The place was a steal, literally. As he'd soon discover, Alex kept his ownership under wraps at first, posing as a new tenant to scope out the real issues: leaky faucets, peeling paint, and a vibe of resigned defeat among the residents. He planned upgrades, fair rents, and maybe even a community vibe that didn't feel like a prison yard. But on his first incognito dip in the pool, fate, or rather, a walking migraine named Victoria Langford, intervened. Victoria was the iron-fisted president of the adjacent Evergreen Estates HOA, a gated enclave of McMansions where every blade of grass had to be regulation length. She'd ruled for 8 years. Her bio on the neighborhood newsletter boasting about upholding community standards with grace and firmness. In reality, she was a master of passive-aggressive newsletters and selective enforcement, favoring her cronies with waived fines while slamming outsiders with violations for breathing too loudly. That day, Victoria stormed through the connecting gate like a general inspecting troops, her pearl necklace clinking against her starched blouse, oversized sunglasses perched like a crown. "Excuse me, sir," she barked, looming over Alex's lounge chair. "This pool is reserved for Evergreen residents only. Our dues pay for its upkeep. And riff-raff like you aren't welcome." Alex blinked up at her, water dripping from his hair, and stifled a chuckle at the absurdity. The pool deck was dotted with faded Maple Grove signs half covered by shiny new evergreen plaques, and a fresh padlock gleamed on the gate, clear signs of a slow-motion invasion. "Ma'am, I live at Maple Grove," he said evenly, pointing to the apartments looming just beyond the fence. "This pool's part of our property." Victoria's lips curled into a condescending smile, like she was humoring a child. "Oh, honey, that's adorable. But I've been enforcing these rules longer than you've probably paid rent. Willow, Maple Grove, lost access years ago due to neglect. It's ours now, per community consensus." She whipped out her phone, scrolling to a contact labeled Deputy Mike, urgent. The way she name-dropped made Alex's skin crawl. It was all theater, designed to intimidate. As she dialed, a couple from Evergreen who'd been splashing nearby froze, grabbing their towels and slinking away with averted eyes. "Better not cross Vicky," the husband muttered under his breath, loud enough for Alex to hear. Victoria preened at their retreat, her voice rising dramatically into the phone. "Officer, there's an unauthorized intruder at our exclusive pool, yes. The one we maintain impeccably. He's refusing to leave and looks suspicious." Alex leaned back, crossing his arms. He could have flashed his deed right then, but something in her smug certainty sparked a calculated patience. Let her dig her own grave, he thought. 20 minutes later, Deputy Mike rolled up, a world-weary cop in his 50s who'd clearly dealt with Victoria's emergencies before. She launched into a monologue about property integrity and community values, gesturing wildly at Alex like he was a stray dog. "Sir, ID please," the deputy asked Alex, who handed over his license and, casually, a folded copy of the property deed from his bag. "Officer. This pool's deeded to Maple Grove. I'm just enjoying what's mine." Victoria snorted. "Preposterous. We've invested thousands, our pristine standards demand exclusivity." The deputy scanned the documents, his face hardening. "Ma'am. These are official records. The pool's not yours. I'd advise reviewing your boundaries before wasting more department time." Victoria's cheeks flushed beet red, her perfect bob quivering. "This is an outrage. I'll have your badge for this incompetence." As the deputy drove off, she leaned in close to Alex, whispering venomously, "You think you've won? My HOA will bury you in fines. Enjoy your little swim, while it lasts." Word spread like wildfire through the neighborhood grapevine. Whispers in the mailboxes, "That new guy's stirring trouble. Vicky says he's a squatter." Alex heard the rumors at the local diner, how he was disrupting harmony and probably dealing drugs by the pool. He bit his tongue, documenting everything quietly on his phone. Meanwhile, he dove into the history with his lawyer, Elena Ramirez, a no-nonsense pro who'd seen her share of HOA horrors. The deed's ironclad. "Alex," she said over coffee. "But if they've been charging fees for a pool they don't own, that's textbook fraud." Digging through old records, Alex met with longtime Maple Grove tenant Mrs. Ethel Barnes, a sharp-eyed widow in her 70s. Over tea in her cluttered unit, she spilled the beans. The pool was ours since the 90s. But when the old owners skimped on maintenance, Victoria swooped in like a vulture. "We'll help," she said. Then locked us out and slapped on their signs. No one fought back, too scared of her petty revenge. Ethel's tales painted Victoria as a petty tyrant. Fining a family $500 for a pink flamingo lawn ornament violates aesthetic unity. Ignoring her own cronies' violations. And hosting exclusive HOA mixers funded by dues. Alex's blood boiled. But he played the long game, installing subtle cameras around the pool. Sure enough, the next week brought a barrage, violation notices taped to his door for unauthorized lounging and disrupting visual harmony, demanding $800. "This is hilarious," Alex muttered, snapping photos. Then came the ally, Brian Keller, Evergreen's reluctant vice president, a harried accountant in his 40s. He cornered Alex at the grocery store, glancing over his shoulder. "Victoria's inner circle gets perks, like waived pool fees. But she's been siphoning money. The maintenance fund is a black hole." Brian slipped him a flash drive with emails showing Victoria billing the HOA for personal spa days as community wellness retreats and funneling cash to her nephew's landscaping business that never showed up. The escalation hit fever pitch when Alex announced a Maple Grove pool party, free burgers, music, the works, to reclaim the space. He posted flyers, hired a low-key bouncer, and watched as Evergreen folks eyed the gate longingly. Victoria arrived mid-fest. Entourage in tow, 2 burly neighbors she called her compliance team. Her face was a storm cloud under the bright sun. "This is trespassing on Evergreen property. Cease this racket immediately," she shrieked, waving a clipboard. Alex strolled over, burger in hand. "Victoria, care for a hot dog?" "As the owner of Maple Grove, I'm hosting for my tenants. But hey, let's chat about a shared access deal, fair and square." Her eyes narrowed. "Owner? You? Don't make me laugh. I'll have security drag you out." She called her private goons, who showed up barking orders, until Alex presented the deed. They backed off, mumbling apologies, leaving Victoria spluttering alone as partygoers snickered. "This farce ends now," she hissed, storming off. But Victoria doubled down. Vandalism struck overnight, slashed pool floats. Chemicals dumped to turn the water murky. Cameras caught a shadowy figure suspiciously like one of her team. Then the smears intensified, anonymous posts on the neighborhood app calling Alex a slumlord and fraud. His business contacts got cryptic calls, "Beware partnering with Harper, he's embroiled in scandals." Alex's patience cracked. But Elena filed injunctions, defamation, harassment. The works. Brian, emboldened, leaked more dirt, Victoria's emails plotting to annex the pool for a luxury condo flip. Promising her a fat kickback from developer pal Harlan Brooks. "Once we control it," she wrote, "Maple Grove's trash won't matter." The fund? Over $200,000 collected. Barely $15,000 spent, the rest padded her lifestyle. The climax erupted at an emergency HOA meeting in Evergreen's sterile community hall. Packed with whispering residents. Victoria presided like a queen, slamming her gavel. "This interloper threatens our way of life. Vote to sanction him fully, fines. Bans." The lot. Alex stood, calm as ever. "Before you vote, folks, let's clarify." He projected the deed, financials, and emails on the wall. "Victoria's charged you for a pool she doesn't own. Diverted funds to her pockets. And plotted to sell it out from under you for personal gain." Gasps rippled. Victoria leaped up, face purple. "Lies. I've dedicated years to this community, unlike this nobody." But Brian rose, voice steady. "I've seen the books. It's true." Others chimed in, "You find me for my dog's bark but let your friends park anywhere." Chaos ensued as doors swung open, Deputy Mike and backups entered. "Mrs. Langford, you're under arrest for fraud and misuse of services." Victoria's jaw dropped, her regal poise crumbling. "You can't. I call you for help." Handcuffs clicked as she was let out, muttering denials to stun silence. In the aftermath, the truth unraveled like a cheap sweater. Victoria's scheme netted her $150,000 in kickbacks and perks. She got 2 years behind bars, plus restitution that had bankrupted her golden years. Evergreen ousted her cronies, electing a transparent board. Alex renovated Maple Grove into a haven, modern gyms, fair rents, resident input. He inked a shared pool pact with the new HOA, passes for Evergreen. Maintenance split evenly. The once divided neighborhoods mingled at joint barbecues. The pool a symbol of reclaimed peace. Alex even added a splash pad for kids, watching from afar as laughter drowned out old grudges. It hit him, real community isn't about control, it's about fairness. And sometimes, a well-timed takedown. So, was Alex justified in playing possum? Letting Victoria's ego spiral into self-destruction for that sweet public justice? Or should he have dropped the hammer sooner? Sparing the drama but maybe letting her slither away? Drop your take below. Who's the real villain in a world of absurd rules?